Bao Island Storyteller, Journey to the West. Hey kids, welcome to Bao Island. On Bao Island, every story has a taste. Today's taste is golden oyster omelette sizzling on a night market griddle. This episode, we're in Taipei's Shilin district. Today's story, the journey begins.
Welcome back to the Bao Island bus. Today I've parked us outside the Shilin official residence, a beautiful walled compound in the middle of Taipei's Shilin district. This was the home of Chiang Kai-shek, who led Taiwan for several decades, and his wife Song Mei-ling. The house itself is a white Western-style mansion, but the gardens around it are magnificent, formal flower beds, a greenhouse, old camphor trees, and in spring, thousands of roses in bloom.
Breathing in, it smells like flowers and old wood and very well-trimmed grass. It's incredibly peaceful.
That's something this location shares with today's story. The chaos is over. The battle is done. The monkey is under the mountain. And in the quiet that follows, something new is being planned.
A garden is a good place for a new plan.
Shilin is the largest district in Taipei. It goes all the way from the city up into the mountains. The famous Shilin Night Market is just a short walk away, which is where Bao found today's food.
Excitedly, yes. Yes, I did.
There's something under these old camphor trees, the sweetness of roses and the bright hit of hot iron on a griddle just through the gate, two different kinds of patience blooming at once.
Excited, what is it? Tell me, tell me.
Take a guess.
Mouth full, let me take a bite first. Excitedly, oyster omelette. This is arguably the most famous Taiwanese street food in the whole world, and if you've only had it once and didn't love it, I need to tell you what to look for.
Go on.
Small fresh oysters, barely cooked, still plump and juicy, go onto a very hot flat iron griddle with a little oil. Then sweet potato starch slurry gets poured around them and spreads out to make a thin, slightly chewy base. Then an egg gets cracked on top, beaten in, and folded over everything. Then fresh baby spinach or lettuce gets laid over it and everything folds together.
And the sauce.
The sauce is the secret. A sweet, tangy, slightly spicy sauce made from tomato paste, chili, sugar, and soy, bright orange red, poured generously over the top. The combination of the chewy starch base, the soft egg, the fresh oysters, and that zingy sauce is just, it's just so good. It's a texture adventure. Not crispy like fried food. Chewy and silky and soft all at once.
It sounds like it shouldn't work on paper.
It absolutely should not work on paper. And it absolutely does in your mouth. Here, both of you, try some.
Tasting, that sauce is very good.
Tasting, the oysters are surprisingly delicate. I expected something stronger.
Fresh. The oysters are what make or break it. Mouth full, okay, while I finish this, what happened after the mountain?
After the mountain was sealed and heaven had recovered, the Buddha returned to Lingshan, Spirit Vulture Mountain, and gathered his disciples together. He said, I want to explain something. I have 3 baskets of holy scripture. The first basket contains the rules of heaven. The second contains teachings on the nature of reality. The third contains Buddhist teachings on how to live, how to deal with suffering, how to be good, how to find peace.
So the scriptures exist. What's the problem?
The Buddha said, these scriptures are here with me, in the West. But look east. There is a great empire there, the Tang Empire, the land of China. Millions of people. And they suffer. They argue, they fight, they lie, they harm each other. They're not bad people, they simply don't know how to live in a way that creates less pain. If these scriptures could travel to them, if someone would carry the teachings east, it could change the whole empire.
But he can't just send the books.
This is the key. He said, I cannot send them. Someone must travel the whole journey and receive them, earn them, in a sense. The teachings only take root in someone who has struggled toward them. If you just receive something without effort, it means nothing.
Slowly, you have to go and get it. It won't come to you.
The Buddha said, who will go to the east and find the right person, a monk of pure heart, to make this journey? And from the assembled bodhisattvas, one figure rose.
Excitedly, Guanyin.
Guanyin, the goddess of mercy, the bodhisattva of compassion, said, I will go. I know the road east. I'll travel to Chang'an and find the right monk. The Buddha gave her 4 gifts to bring along, a monk's staff, a cassock robe, 3 golden headbands, and 3 golden headband spells to control unruly helpers.
Headband spells? What are those?
Each headband, once placed on someone's head, could be tightened by a spoken spell. If the wearer misbehaved, the band would squeeze until they behaved again.
Quietly, one of those is for the monkey, isn't it?
Pause, it is. But Guanyin didn't know yet who would wear it. She set out east on her journey. And along the way, she found helpers.
How?
She found them where they were stuck. Each helper was a being who had committed a great wrong and was being punished for it, stranded in a difficult place, waiting. And she offered each one the same deal, come on the journey, protect the monk, and your punishment will be commuted.
Who did she find first?
At the quicksand river, a terrible, churning river that devoured anything that touched it, she found a giant monster sitting at the bottom. He had once been a heavenly general named Sha Wujing. He had accidentally broken a crystal glass at a celestial banquet and been cast out of heaven, sentenced to be struck by flying swords every 7 days in this river forever.
That seems extremely harsh for breaking a glass.
It was the Jade Emperor's crystal glass. Very special glass. Guanyin said, come with the monk on his journey. Protect him. You'll be forgiven. Sha Wujing agreed. He later becomes known as Sandy.
Excitedly, Sandy. I know him. He's the quiet one who carries the luggage.
That's him. Then Guanyin found a pig monster living in a cave near a mountain. He had been a heavenly general to Marshal Tian Pang, the commander of the Heavenly River Naval Forces. He had gotten drunk at a party and tried to kiss the moon goddess Chang'an. He was expelled from heaven and reincarnated into a pig's body by mistake.
Laughing, he hit on the moon goddess? And got turned into a pig?
He had a very bad night. Guanyin offered him the same deal. He accepted. He becomes Zhu Beiji, Pigsy.
And the horse?
At Eagle's Grief Stream, in a deep canyon, she found a white dragon coiled at the bottom. He was a prince, the son of the Dragon King of the Western Sea. He had accidentally set fire to a pearl, his father's most precious possession, and been sentenced to death. A last-minute appeal from Guanyin saved his life, but he had to serve as a white horse to carry the monk.
A dragon prince became a horse?
He carries the monk across every mountain and desert and river for the entire 14-year journey. A prince reduced to being a pack animal because of one careless moment.
Quietly, every helper has a story. Every one of them made a mistake and got stuck somewhere. And Guanyin found them exactly where they were stuck.
We're in the greenhouse now. Look at these roses, hundreds of varieties. The greenhouse has been here since the 1950s, when Song Meiling cultivated the garden. She was a skilled gardener and an artist. These roses were her project.
It's a greenhouse in the middle of a city that's been here for 70 years. Kept alive by successive generations of gardeners who never met the original woman who planted it.
That's a kind of love that outlasts the person who had it.
Quietly, does Guanyin know that the journey she's setting up will take 14 years?
She knows exactly how long it will take and how hard it will be. She does it anyway. Compassion isn't doing the easy thing because you feel sorry for someone. It's doing the necessary thing when you can see what someone needs even when they can't.
Like planting a garden you might not live to see fully grown.
Or recruiting helpers from punishment and trusting that the journey itself will change them.
Excitedly, big pancake sandwich. This is one of my all-time favorite Taiwan snacks, and it is huge.
It looks like what it sounds like.
Yes. A big flat scallion pancake, crispy and layered, gets split open like a pita. Inside, you choose fillings. There's always a second smaller pancake, usually a plain or sesame one, softer and chewier. Then add fried egg, pork floss, dried seaweed strips, pickled vegetables, plum sauce, chili sauce, maybe a sausage. Everything folded together inside this big crispy shell.
That's a complete meal in one package.
It's a meal, a snack, a main course, and a life experience all in one thing. The crunch when you bite through the outer pancake, bites, crack, and then all the soft things inside tumbling out. It's messy and perfect.
You need 2 hands.
You need 2 hands and a plan. Okay, Guanyin visited the mountain next, right?
Before going to Chang'an to find the monk, Guanyin made one more stop. She flew to 5 Elements Mountain and stood at the rocky surface above where Sun Wukong was sealed. She looked down and called out, "Is anyone there?"
After 500 years, someone finally speaks to him.
Sun Wukong heard the voice. He pushed his head out between the rocks and shouted, "Who's there? Come help me out. Come on, give me a hand."
Laughing, first thing he says after 500 years is "Get me out."
Guanyin looked at him, this disheveled monkey, fur matted, eyes wild, sticking his head out between rocks like a prisoner at a window. She said, "I'm Guanyin of the Southern Sea. I'm passing through on my way east to find someone to retrieve the scriptures from the west."
He's so eager.
Guanyin held up a hand. She said, "I'm not the one who can release you. But someone is coming. A monk on a journey. When he arrives at this mountain, he will free you. And then you will protect him on the whole journey west. Can you do that?"
And Sun Wukong said yes?
He said, "Yes. Yes. Anyone who lets me out of here, I'll do anything they say." Pause, he would have agreed to anything after 500 years. But Guanyin looked at him very carefully and said, "I mean it. The whole journey. You protect him. You don't disobey. Even when it's hard. Even when you disagree."
Quietly, she was reading his character. Already planning.
The golden headband was already in her bag. Guanyin arrived at Chang'an, the capital of the Tang Empire, one of the greatest cities in the world at that time. 1 million people. The greatest market in Asia. Cultures from every direction, Persian, Indian, Japanese, Korean traders all crossing paths.
That must have been extraordinary.
Emperor Taizong, one of the most famous emperors in Chinese history, had recently organized a great Dharma ceremony, a Buddhist prayer event for the souls of the dead. He needed a monk to lead it. The best monks in the empire were gathered. Guanyin watched from above in disguise, dressed as a poor monk as they assembled.
Who did she choose?
There was one monk. Not the most famous, not the most senior, not the most celebrated. His name was Xuanzang, known to his disciples as Tang Sanzang, or Tang Monk, or sometimes just Tripitaka. He was young. He had no famous battles or great sermons to his name. But he had a quality that Guanyin saw immediately.
What quality?
Purity of heart. A genuine wish to help others without any desire for fame or reward. He didn't want to go on a 14-year journey because it would make him important. He wanted to go because he believed the scriptures would genuinely help the people of China.
That's the criterion? Not strength, not cleverness, just wanting to help.
The whole journey doesn't begin with the most powerful being. It begins with the most sincere one.
Quietly, that's so different from how the story started. The stone monkey was born with power and had to learn everything else. The monk was born with goodness and has to acquire everything else.
Two halves of one journey.
We should walk across to the children's amusement park before it gets dark. It's just next door, a little park with old rides that have been there since the 1980s.
I love this place. The Ferris wheel is very small and very old, and somehow that makes it better.
Shilin Children's Amusement Park was built when Shilin was developing into a family neighborhood. Simple rides, low fences, children running in every direction. It hasn't changed much.
Not everything should change. Some things are good because they're simple and familiar, and they've been making kids happy for a long time.
Like tube rice pudding. Like oyster omelette. Like Journey to the West.
Laughing, a 400-year-old story that is still making kids happy. It holds up. It really holds up.
The Tang monk is about to begin the most difficult journey in Chinese literature. And he's going to walk out of Chang'an with almost nothing, no army, no magical powers, just a horse, his robes, and a staff.
But Guanyin has arranged everything. The helpers are waiting. The monkey is ready.
And in a few episodes, they'll all find each other.
Bridge, can I ask something? Why does it have to be such a long journey? Why not just give the monk the scriptures? Or have Guanyin bring them herself?
The Buddha addressed this directly. He said, if I send the scriptures directly, they'll arrive without meaning. Like a gift handed over without any understanding of what it cost. The monk must walk every li of the road. He must face every monster, cross every river, climb every mountain. Only then will he understand in his body, not just his mind, what the teachings are actually about.
The difficulty is part of the teaching.
And each monster he faces isn't just a monster. Each one represents something: greed, desire, anger, pride, laziness, deception. The entire journey is a map of the things that stop people from being good.
And son Wukong has to protect him through all of that.
A being of pure power, learning to serve. A being of pure goodness, learning to survive. That tension, those two very different characters depending on each other, is the whole story.
Slowly, the Buddha didn't trap Sun Wukong under the mountain as a punishment. He was waiting for the right job to come along.
The monkey was always going to be released. The question was always, released into what?
Time to wrap up. The roses in the official residence garden are lit up now in the evening light. The old camphor trees are very still.
Today we were in Shilin, the official residence with its rose garden, the old children's amusement park, and Shilin Night Market just up the road. We ate a golden oyster omelette with that bright tangy sauce, and a big pancake sandwich we needed 2 hands to hold. And we watched the story shift completely, from battles and chaos to something quieter and larger. The Buddha explained why the scriptures need to travel. Guanyin volunteered. She found Sandy at the quicksand river, Pigsy in a mountain cave, and a dragon prince at the bottom of a canyon, all stuck in punishment, all waiting for a purpose. She visited the monkey and told him someone is coming. And in Chang'an, a young monk named Xuanzang was quietly chosen.
Not the strongest. The most sincere.
That's always the right choice.
What's next?
Next time, we take the bus up the coast to Keelung, the famous Shilin Night Market, and the dramatic Heping Island Geopark. We eat Keelung tempura, nutritious sandwich, and bubble ice. And we go all the way back before the story begins to find out who Tang Monk really is. Where did he come from? Why is his journey so full of danger? It's a story about his father, a murdered traveler, a floating baby, and a grudge that lasts 20 years.
Tang Monk has an origin story?
Everyone has an origin story. Softly, the roses are still blooming in someone else's garden, and a young monk is packing almost nothing for the longest road of his life. On Bao Island, stories grow up with you.